So,
So Jamie, I got a question for you. We've been doing the show for quite a while, and we know a little bit about me being a funny guy, but we don't talk too much about what you've been up to, and how essential what you do for a living is right now. On a beautiful day like today, is there anything going on in the real estate market?
mm-hmm. The real estate market it's insane right now. All across the country, some places are still completely shut down. I talked to brokers from all across the country, and some of them can do nothing. And even so, I'm on a group with some brokers in Canada, and some of them, they still can't work. So, the thing about real estate in Kitsap County, and I have a couple of things I want to show you here on my screen, but it's Kitsap County real estate stopped for about a week, and then it just went right back. I won't say to normal levels, but to crazy levels. And so, and part of it, a lot of it has to do with interest rates. And I was talking with I ran across a mortgage broker Friday night. We went out to Joey's for dinner on Friday night, and I was sitting down with the mortgage broker, and he was telling me that mortgage applications are at record highs. And I just found a stat that applications for people to buy a home just rose to their highest level in 11 years.
And is that just here in Kitsap County, or is that regional?
Nationally. That's
nationally.
Mortgage applications rose to the highest level in 11 years nationally. And that's what we're seeing here in Kitsap County too. And people trying to refi. If you haven't refinanced your mortgage in the last 5 or 6 years, I just got an email from a lender this morning where interest rates are in the low 3s. But I mean, of course, it's dependent on your credit and all those things.
Yeah.
So what was the interest rate when you bought your house, Cris Larsen?
I want to say it was 11, and I remember, we've obviously not there now. I mean, I think we're, I don't know, 275 or something.
Yeah, nice.
The less, but I remember, like my sister, she was at 23, back in I want to say the 80s.
Right.
And so, there's,
show you.
Yeah. And I have a friend that, I remember Susan, at dinner, and she was talking to him, and they were at 13, and she's like, how come you've never, like, wait a minute. And so now they're down in the real world again. But yes, folks out there, if you haven't, please do look at what's available to you. And there's a lot of resources out there here in Kitsap, and support a local place for doing these types of things.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Can you see my screen?
I do. It's today it's at 3.24 is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, so this was a couple days ago too.
Right.
But you can look at it over time, and some of these numbers are low. So look at the 80s, 12.7%.
Yeah.
Was the average interest rate. And then, at some point they're up to 20%, 25%.
Right.
Then look at the 90s, 8.12%.
Yeah.
And so we've been in the 4s and 5s for quite a while. When Scott and I built our house in 2004 and 5, it was at 6.5%. So, just crazy times. So then the question is, why do we care about interest rates? What does it matter, right? What difference does it make whether your interest rate is 3.25% or 5%? So I'm going to show you why that matters.
Okay.
So this is a chart, and this is based on a $200,000 mortgage. Nobody's getting a $200,000 mortgage.
Right.
Because I'll show you one of the other things I'll show you is median, or the average home price in Kitsap County. What do you think the average home price in Kitsap County right now is, Chris?
It's got to be 3 1/4.
So the average home price in Kitsap County is, the median price is about 385. The average price is about 415.
Wow.
So
Wow.
you know, a bunch are above and a bunch are below. So that's Kitsap County. And it's just so crazy. So essentially what you're seeing on the screen right here is average interest rates and how it impacts your mortgage payment. So this is 200,000. So let's just say for a $400,000 mortgage, double it. I did the math, it works out pretty close.
Okay.
So if you could get an interest rate of 3.45%, and they're less than that now, your monthly payment, let's go with the 200, double it if you want. Your monthly payment, and this is just principal and interest, so it doesn't include your homeowner's insurance or your taxes. Your monthly payment is $894. So on a $400,000 home, it's $1,785. So let's go back and see what that is if it jumps up even half a point. So look at this right here where it says in 2010, 3.99%. If it jumps up even half a point, that's $60 a month. So if you're doubling that on a $400,000 home, that's $120, half a point in your interest rate. So I'm not a lender, I'm a real estate broker. So let's be clear on that. But can you see how crazy that is? And then if you go up to 6 1/4%, you go from $894 to $1,200.
Wow.
So that's why interest rates matter, because not only does it change your monthly payment, it can significantly change how much you can afford to buy.
Right.
So if you were paying so let's go with the $400,000 mortgage. If you're paying for your interest rate to go up half a point, an extra $120 a month for that same $400,000 house, because your interest rate went up 0.5%. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So
Yes.
your interest rate jumps 0.5%, already it's $120,000. So $120. If you can't afford that extra $120, now you can't afford that $400,000 mortgage.
Right. And so the payment on the 400,000, let me see that again.
So the pay so essentially on this, I just doubled this $894. So because this is 200,000. So
and right now, the reason I'm kind of going down this thought pattern, most rentals in Kitsap right now for a 1-bedroom are $1,500 a month.
exactly.
And so if you're in an apartment right now, or I mean, you can actually, with these kind of interest rates, get out of that rental and become an owner.
Right. Pay your own mortgage instead of someone else's.
Yeah.
Right. And so then it comes the question from a lot of people, well, I rent because I don't have a 20% down payment, or I don't have a lot of money to put down. You don't have to have a 20% down payment. There are, if you've never bought a home before, there are some great first-time home buyer plans. You can get, in some areas of Kitsap County, you can buy with 0 down on a USDA loan. You have to income qualify.
Hang on, USDA, isn't that for beef?
It is for beef. Yes, it is for beef. But they also back home mortgages. Isn't that crazy?
Well, I like it. Okay.
I know. So, and then of course, a veteran can buy with 0 down as one of the benefits of being a veteran and using your VA benefits. But you can also buy with as little as 3% down on a conventional loan, or 3.5% down on an FHA loan, or conventional loans of 5%, 10%. So I hate to see people get locked into, well, I can't buy a house because I don't have 20% down. So that's not necessary. So the next challenge on this next screen that I'm going to go to, bless you.
Thank you.
The next challenge for buyers right now, those renters, bless you.
Sorry.
Trying trying to get into a home right now in Kitsap County. So on this screen, this is part of the Northwest MLS. So these numbers come out of the Northwest MLS. So I don't know if you can see on here, one year over year for 12 months, new listings, and a lot of this is coronavirus related. So new listings in Kitsap County are down 12.8%. We're in the height of our spring market right now.
Right. So we're things are selling right, left, and center, but the listings are down. So what are they being able to buy?
Right. So listings are down 12.8%. Right now, homes for sale. So that we're listing homes and we're selling homes so fast. So currently, homes for sale are down, active listings are down 17.5%. Pending sales, which kind of is that combination of new listings and home for sale. So pending sales, while new listings are down 12.8%, homes for sale are down 17.6%, pending sales are only down 4.1%. So of the homes that are coming on the market, so many fewer homes are coming on the market, and they're getting sold immediately. So pending sales are still really high and listings are really low comparatively, that there's nothing to buy. That's the challenge. Yeah. So the last 4 listings that I put on the market since COVID, the last 4 listings that I put on the market all sold in the exception of one that had a tenant in it, and so it took a tiny bit longer. All of them sold in 1 to 2 days for an average. One of them sold right at list price the first day, and the others sold average $15,000 over list price in the first or second day.
So that's for those of you, that's your down payment right there. Goodness sakes.
Right. Yeah, it's super crazy. And then at all of the offers that I've been submitting, I just went up against 6 other offers and was able to win. So, there's ways to do it. You just have to be super creative. And sometimes it's not all about money either. Right. So there are lots of things to consider. But I'll show you one more screen here. And this is the Northwest MLS hot sheet today. And so look up there. Can you see where it says new listings 22? You see that on the screen?
Yeah, I see that.
22.
Yeah.
Listings pending 37. Listings sold 28. So 22 new listings came on the market, but 37 of them went off the market. And so this is just in the last 24 hours. This is a market watch of Kitsap County plus Gig Harbor and Port Ludlow. So it's pretty crazy what's happening out there right now. But
so if anybody's interested in selling your house and property, now's the time.
That's the key lesson, is that if you've been sitting on the fence about whether you want to sell your home and what does COVID mean for selling a home, there are so many buyers out there looking, and we do have rules. We got to wear the face mask. So we're never far from the face mask. And thankfully in phase 2, we were able to actually do home inspections and, with a client and take couples in to see a house. For a while, we were taking Mrs. Buyer in, coming out, and then taking Mr. Buyer in and coming out. And so just crazy.
Well, that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
It's really hard. But you know what? We were still selling a crazy number of houses.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just, it's one of those things that real estate is hyper local, and it really comes down to, what matters in your market. But,
Yeah.
when we look at the future and, what does that look like? And we've had a lot of conversations with people who are like, well, I'm just going to wait for the economy's going to crash, home prices are going to go down. And so I'm just going to wait and buy when home prices go down and when the economy crashes.
And that ain't going to happen. Well, I don't want to say, yeah. Anyways, come on, people.
Well, so I was just reading a report this morning that, there are some people who are out there and indicating Zillow is projecting a small 0.7% drop in home valuations. But Freddie Mac is predicting a 2.3% increase in home valuations. And we're already seeing that in Kitsap.
Sure. Sure.
National Association of Realtors projecting 3.8%. Mortgage Brokers Association projecting an increase of 4%. So, the bottom line is that, no one is projecting a crash like we had in 2008. No one.
That's good. That's good.
So, and then the last thing I'll say is that Freddie Mac, which, is who controls a lot of the loans in the country, Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae.
Right.
Freddie Mac is predicting rates for the rest of 2020 are going to stay around 3.4%. And for 2021, they expect about 3.2%.
Boy, that's just amazing to even think about. I'm so happy right now that builders are starting to build again.
Yes.
They're now essential workers, and I know there's a number of huge home neighborhoods going in, and East Bremerton and Port Orchard, and there's all this land being cleared that it just looks like that's going to be a neighborhood. So boy, just in the nick of time.
We've had an extreme shortage of homes because for a while, for the longest time. So I was one of the brilliant ones who started my real estate career in 2009 when there was nothing good was happening in real estate at that time. But since then, there were so many builders who had lots and had plats and then they just stopped building. They just had to stop building. And so for years, for probably 3 to 5 years, there was really no new construction going on, or very little. So then we just got behind. And of course, Kitsap County is like the mecca to escape Seattle and the East Side. And so now all the homes are getting eaten up and builders haven't been able to keep up. So It's exciting to see the new construction. And, I understand, some people don't like tearing out the trees and cutting down the woods and that kind of thing. But Kitsap County is just going to continue to grow, and we need somewhere to put people.
Yeah.
So,
and businesses are coming to Kitsap right now.
Mhm.
I know there's some growth going on. I'm not sure which ones we can talk about, so we won't talk about any of them. But there's some big projects in the works and being built as we're speaking right now.
Well, there's a big one with a lot of trucks and a big smile on it that's moving in by the airport. And and they're hiring a ton of people.
Yes, they are.
It's going to be interesting to watch how that changes the dynamic, especially out in that south end. And what happens down there as incomes rise. And I know affordable housing is a huge issue, and homelessness is a huge issue here in Kitsap County right now. And so, it's one of those things that, we're still trying to deal with rents going up dramatically and home prices going up dramatically. It's, affordability is now more important than ever. And that's, And that's one of the good things about interest rates being where they are, because it makes a big difference for affordability.
Boy, it really does. It really does, Jamie.
So go out and refinance. And I don't get anything out of that because I'm not a lender, but you know, it's pretty amazing.
Well, Jamie, that's I'm glad we had the opportunity today to fit this type of a program in, because it's so needed and usable for those of you that are out there watching right now.
A little bit of real estate school.
Yeah, you know, a little bit of information gets you a long way, and knowing where you stand with your banker right now is a good thing. So
Sure.
folks, you know, take a look at what your situation is, and use some local people to better up your situation a little bit. So nothing wrong with keeping dollars in your own pocket. So
Well, that's
yeah.
exactly right. And yeah, just put, you know, who wouldn't like to save $200 every month on their mortgage?
Woohoo!
I know, right?
Yeah.
Me too.
Woo!
Ditto.